In the summer of 1940, Germany stood at the height of its power. France had fallen in 6 weeks. The war, it seemed, was almost won, but across the Channel, one island refused to surrender. Title card 1. Misjudging the enemy. Germany's first fatal mistake. Misjudging the enemy. Hitler believed Britain would negotiate. Instead, it prepared to fight. The Luftwaffe launched wave after wave across the Channel, but the Royal Air Force, outnumbered, held the line. Stat overlay. By September, German losses in aircrew had outpaced Britain's. London burned, but its factories kept building fighters. Back in Berlin, confidence turned into quiet doubt. Resistance was not supposed to continue. It did. Germany had won every battle and was already losing the war. Title card 2. The War in the East. Mistake number 2. A war on a second front, one Germany couldn't win. In June 1941, 3 million German soldiers crossed into the Soviet Union. The advance was staggering, hundreds of miles in weeks. Panzer columns tore across the steppe toward Moscow. Then came winter, and an enemy no army had planned for. Stat overlay. Temperatures fell to -40. Fuel froze, engines seized, supply lines stretched 1,000 miles, simply collapsed. Moscow was in sight and utterly out of reach. The blitzkrieg that conquered Europe had stalled in the snow. Germany was no longer fighting one war, it was fighting 2, and the Eastern Front would bleed it for 4 more years. Title card 3. Awakening a sleeping giant. Mistake number 3. Hitler declared war on a nation twice his size. Days after Pearl Harbor, he stood before the Reichstag. Germany, unprompted, declared war on the United States. It was a gift Roosevelt hadn't asked for and gladly accepted. American industry, until then split by debate, unified overnight. Shipyards and factories shifted to full wartime production. Bombers, warships, and supplies crossed the Atlantic by the thousand. Stat overlay. By 1943, the U.S. was outproducing Germany many times over. German U-boats, once dominant, were now the hunted. Allied aircraft and destroyers turned the Atlantic into a graveyard for them. One by one, German warships vanished beneath the waves. In Berlin, naval reports arrived and grew grimmer by the week. America's factories, once sleeping, were now running at full power. A war Germany didn't need to start had sealed its fate. Title card 4. Production gutted. Mistake number 4. Germany's own industry became a target it couldn't defend. Allied bombers began flying deep into German airspace. Their targets, the factories, refineries, and railways that fed the war. The Ruhr, Germany's industrial heartland, was hit again and again. Stat overlay. By 1944, fuel production had fallen by more than half. Oil refineries near Luna were left burning for days. Workers cleared rubble faster than factories could be rebuilt. Rail yards lay twisted, supplies no longer reached the front. City after city, Hamburg, Dresden, Berlin, went up in flame. Fuel and steel charts on command room tables kept shrinking. Aircraft sat grounded on airfields, built but unable to fly. Tanks stalled on the roadside, waiting for fuel that never came. Germany could still design weapons. It could no longer supply them. Title card V. No ships, no unity. The 5th and final mistake. A command structure divided against itself. German shipyards, battered and starved of steel, built too little, too late. What supply convoys remained sailed with almost no escort. Allied aircraft found them easily and picked them apart. Stat overlay. Millions of tons of German shipping were lost before war's end. Meanwhile, in Berlin, the Army's own command was split in 2. The OKW and OKH argued over strategy while the front collapsed. Hitler bypassed his generals, issuing orders straight to the field. Plans were overruled, then overruled again, hours before execution. On two fronts at once, German armies began to retreat. By 1944, the territory Germany controlled was shrinking by the month. Soldiers and officers walked through cities they could no longer hold. Command bunkers stood empty, maps abandoned on the floor. Half-built ships sat idle in yards with no fuel to launch them. 5 mistakes. Not one alone was fatal. Underestimating Britain, a war in the East, a war with America, a gutted industry, a divided command. Together, they made defeat inevitable. By 1945, the giant that once conquered Europe had nothing left to fight with.